The mood quite somber and one of grief after the temple president had been shot in the parking lot of this Gurdwara on 120th and 72nd Avenue in Surrey. A high-profile activist, 45-year-old Hardeep Singh Nijjar, gunned down in the parking lot in his vehicle. Surrey RCMP said officers received reports of the shooting at about 8:27 Sunday night. A video posted on Twitter about 90 minutes after the shooting showed a large crowd gathered outside the Gurdwara, the scene illuminated by the flashing lights of police cars.
Last night's homicide was a brazen act of violence outside a place of worship. Many community members were present following evening prayers at the Gurdwara.
Nijjar is accused of terrorism and conspiracy to murder in India. He advocated for Khalistan, a separate Sikh state in India. According to Nijjar's lawyer, Gurpat Want Singh Panu, and various sources, Canadian Security Intelligence Service and police were aware of the threat to Nijjar.
Well, I think, there should be a full investigation and the details about the extent to which any agency was aware of this. Information was shared by Mr. Panu regarding the nature of, the sharing of this information with CSIS and other agencies in Canada, possibly. And so there was a concern that possibly may not have been addressed. And so we should see an investigation.
Police say they are searching for suspects and trying to confirm a motive for the homicide, but can't say if Nijjar was killed because of his Khalistan activism or a more local political dispute.
Through the collection of evidence and in speaking with witnesses, IHED has learned that two suspects, described as heavier set males wearing face coverings, fled the scene on foot, southbound on 122nd Street through Cougar Creek Park. It's believed that the suspects may have had a vehicle waiting for them in the area of 121 Street and 68th Avenue. It's believed that the suspects and their vehicle may have been in that area for at least an hour prior to the homicide.
Nijjar's supporters held a protest on 120th Street after the shooting right into early Monday morning, blocking the road while chanting and praying. They cleared the roads at the request of the RCMP around 7:30 a.m. on Monday. A vigil was attended by hundreds of people at the Surrey Gurdwara on Monday night, sending out a clear message to local and federal politicians to take the investigation of Nijjar's murder seriously. Hardeep Singh Nijjar's last chapter of his life will be coming to a close on Sunday outside Guru Nanak Sikh Gurdwara. His funeral will be held at the Valley View Funeral Home in Surrey. Ish Sharma, Darpan Magazine. Hey everyone, here are the top stories of Darpan for today. Police seized approximately $200,000 cash and millions of dollars worth of drugs from an apartment in downtown Vancouver on Saturday. Officers and BC Ambulance Service were called to an apartment at 777 Richard Street to check the well-being of the residents in the early morning on February 15th. Two males were located in medical distress inside the apartment, and paramedics transported both to hospital for treatment. Officers located and seized multiple bricks believed to be cocaine, cash, approximately 3 gallons of an unknown liquid, and several ounces of a substance believed to be MDMA. The estimated value of the drugs, millions of dollars. A BC judge sided with a Vancouver Island driver this month, ruling that charging a phone in the car does not by itself constitute distracted driving. Megan Wiley received a distracted driving ticket in December 2018 in Esquimalt. The officer at the traffic stop said Wiley had the phone resting in her lap. Wiley, however, testified the phone was sitting on the driver's seat next to her right thigh. Both parties agreed that the phone screen was not lit up and Wiley did not touch it with her hands. Hey everyone, hope you had a good weekend. Today on Darpan, some important COVID-19 related financial help from the feds and the Prime Minister apologizing during his media briefing for the We Charity scandal. Trudeau, during his media briefing after he made the wage subsidy announcement, faced questions from reporters regarding the We Charity involvement. The Prime Minister apologized for making, quote, a mistake by not removing himself from conversations about granting We Charity a sole-sourced contract to run the now halted $900 million COVID-19 student volunteer program.
I made a mistake in not recusing myself immediately from the discussions, given our family's history. And I'm sincerely sorry about not having done that.
In sports, after the Canucks won against the defending Stanley Cup champions 6-2, the St. Louis Blues on Friday, they played the Vegas Golden Knights on Sunday. However, the Canucks took a thumping at the hands of the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights won 5-0. And Travis Green, the head coach of the Canucks, said that it was the worst game of the playoffs, but said they can hopefully learn from it and get better. So let's hope they certainly do for Game 2 on Tuesday night. Kevin Falcon promises to rebuild and renew the party into the political powerhouse of their recent past. Let's say hello to him. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I'm great-ish. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Great.
A huge congratulations.
Thank you.
I know that when you took some time away from politics, you were in the private sector.
Yes.
You did some work with Anthem Properties.
Yes.
So what sort of learning took place there, and that you can implement, and some solutions that you can bring to the table with the housing market crisis?
Oh, such a great question, because it is a crisis. And you have to understand that the problem that the NDP government has is that they diagnose the problem wrong.
I'm here at the Alan Emmett Centre in Burnaby, and today has been the nomination for NDP federal leader Jagmeet Singh for the riding of Burnaby South, which was previously held by Kennedy Stewart, who is now running for the mayor of Vancouver. It is very important that Jagmeet Singh secures the seat, otherwise his leadership at the federal level could come into question for the long term. Here's some of what Jagmeet Singh had to say.
So I'm running to make sure a senior citizen like Ed can live with dignity and have a home a place they can call home. I want to ensure that everyone has access to housing, and we are committed to delivering a strategy to deal with this crisis now, not in 2 years.
Now, before anything can happen, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau must first call a by-election. For Red FM in Burnaby, I'm Ish Sharma. I loved what he said, 9 months to put one of these babies together, and the same thing for the human baby.
Yes,
so it is,
absolutely.
It is a work of art.
I've never actually thought of that before. It takes 9 months.
It is a work of art.
It truly is, right? And I also mentioned bespoke, so you can really have it any way you want. There's 144,000 standard colors, but you can have any color you want.
Right.
So they'll do whatever you want to do there.
I'm actually in some sort of a magical space of its own. It was a lot of fun being in the passenger seat, but you know what? It's nothing like being in the driver's seat, so I can't wait to experience this. I'm going in. Wow. I'm touching the steering. Oh my God.
How does it feel so far?
It feels amazing. My steering doesn't feel anything like this. One thing I've always wondered is there's so many other luxury cars out there.
Yeah.
Why such a fascination people have with the Rolls-Royce, and why people want to invest in them?
I think it's a multitude of things. So people also know that getting a Rolls-Royce is not buying a car, it's buying an experience. It's a sense of the most major accomplishment somebody can do.
Until next time, I'm Ish Sharma for Darpan Magazine.